Welcome back to Yelena Talks. This is my 5th podcast, and today's episode is all about the approval seeking, also known as the recognition seeking schema. So if you guys have followed me, you guys now know I talk about psychology, if I could say the soul realm, how we are impacted, why we struggle in the areas that we do, how that affects our personal life, our professional life. As a person who's a believer, believes in the spirit realm, believes in kingdom, I do believe that God wants us to prosper. However, I think it's our soul realm that gets in the way. So today I am digging down into what it is to seek approval, why that's a problem, how that gets in the way of things. So let's break it down. Let's get into it. Today's episode is, I'm going to do it a little bit different as I even discover more of like who I am and what I want to talk about in terms of like professionally. I know what I love to do, and I am going to give myself more and more freedom to walk along the path where I am speaking to girls who I know want to hear this information. I know this was definitely me. I will try to break this down and share as much as I possibly can. So, what is the approval seeking, recognition seeking schema? Remember, schema, you can call it like a core belief, a mental mindset. We all have schemas, but it's maladaptive when it's a problem. We all have schemas. Let's say that like this. We all have maladaptive schemas, but it's a problem. To what degree, in what area, that's where it might differ from person to person. And in this schema, here's the issue. We do things to try to gain approval, recognition, or attention from other people. So we're trying to fit in. We're trying to see how we can be accepted. Sometimes we become almost like chameleons because we really want maybe the approval, admiration, attention, all that from other people. And it is that at the expense of who we are. There's no way we can be true to ourselves, secure, authentic, confident, if we are so hypersensitive to what other people might be thinking or want from us. Like, you can't tap into who you are if you are too busy trying to be something or someone for someone else. I find that a lot of the entrepreneurs I work with, a lot of the girls, these are people that, if I could say, have a gift, empathetic, sensitive to, like, they're able to perceive how other people feel or think, but the price is, I think this is what they want, so I will do and be that for them. Obviously, this is a problem when you can never really branch out and have the confidence to fully become yourself. So what are some things that get in the way, or if I could even say control us to try to conform? The obvious ones that I talk about a lot are culture, society, roles, right, religion, our families, right? If I think about, let's say, church communities, we have to be like this, or maybe dress like that, or talk like this, or not talk like that. And then all of a sudden we become, I'm sorry to say, robots. And I don't think in God's kingdom that's what he wants from us. Perfect little robots. He wants sons and daughters, okay? Now, to be different, or if I could say to be your true selves, it takes a level of confidence to venture out and stop being so dependent or even obsessed as to what others have to say and think. It actually takes courage to just be. Now, what makes this a maladaptive schema is if we are trying to prove ourselves, okay? As I've talked about the other schemas, the unrelenting standards, where you're always trying to be more perfect, better. The other schema that I've talked about is self-sacrifice, right? Again, doing more, sacrificing more to gain that approval and acceptance. Basically, all of these schemas sound like a trap to me. And I believe Jesus is here to give us freedom. So the more we can break off, or first of all, you have to identify what you're breaking off or what's controlling you. But the more we're able to identify, hey, that person's comment is making me want to prove myself to them, my worth, my value. And as soon as you start to catch yourself with these things, or here's another example. This person, if I be a certain way, then they'll invite me to that party. Or if I'm going to be like this, then they'll say, oh, I'm the cool boss. Or if I act like that or dress like that, then guys will be like, oh yeah, she's hot. And so here's the thing, we lose who we are. And ladies, I want to tell you that God has designed you to be so unique. Like there is such a perfect blueprint for each and every one of us, like a unique thumbprint, that the worst thing you can do is neglect that unique thumbprint and try to be some kind of cookie cutter version of who knows what. And if any of you want to experience real, authentic, true love, belonging, connection, community, I can imagine that the best like group of people you can belong to or relationship is one that loves you for you. Now, I'm not talking about like, I know this can go a totally different way. Like, I'm not talking about we could just be disastrous and toxic and just expect people to love us and accept us because, we don't need to be enabled and we don't need our dysfunction to be celebrated. But if I'm talking about, like, let's say I have certain hobbies I love to do. Maybe there's certain music or movies I really enjoy. Maybe there's a type of dancing that I like. Obviously, the more I could just own, hey, I love this, even though maybe society says this isn't cool or, such and such isn't trendy. It doesn't matter. If I'm tapped into the things I love, I want to be around with people who love that and celebrate that with me. So let's just kind of continue to break down some thoughts I've been having in my mind in regards to how this schema affects females in the professional world, right? My entrepreneurs, bosses, executives, CEOs, all that. And I also want to say this, a lot of, not all, but the population that I work with, or I really actually enjoy working with, are females who, yes, they have their amazing boss roles or they're trying to start up a business in business mode. I mean, very intelligent ladies. But, sometimes these girls are, I'm going to say it, single. I said it. And I want to help these girls because you know what? Honestly, some self-disclosure, I just remember growing up, and I've talked in my previous podcasts, I thought I was doing well. I thought I did a good job, like in church and business and school. Like I was a go-getter. There was a whole lot of stuff I was doing. And it sounds funny. I was just so perplexed. Like, why am I single for such a long time? And I didn't know what to do. And everyone's advice was, I'm sorry, but pretty horrible. Sorry, everyone who tried. And it was either, I've talked about this in my previous episodes, it was either just pray more, or, okay, well then do that. And I'm like, well, I already did that. And then someone would bounce and then say the next default response, well then go and do that. And I'm like, well, I already did that too. Or probably some of the, let's actually go into this. What are some really bad advice that I received from people that I think really did love me and at their core wanted the best, but honestly, looking back now, I just shake my head and laugh, but shake my head mostly. Right, settle. You want too much. Nobody's perfect. And I understand that. I understand. But it was like, just settle, which was hard for me because I felt like I was just doing so much with my life and just ending up with some kind of Joe Schmo was felt a little dissatisfying. Other things they said. Oh, once you get married, you'll love them. And I was like, man, that's a gamble. I don't know if I'm willing to take that one. If I'm not into the guy now, no, thank you. What's another one? Oh, if he's not like absolutely horrible or horrific, just go for it, love will grow. Oh my gosh. Oh Lord. Oh, what else? Another one. Chase him. Let him know. Pursue him. No, that was the worst one. I hated that one so bad. I felt so uncomfortable. That was so embarrassing for me. Man, I couldn't even text a guy. That was me. So yeah, I was kind of busy in my work mode, and then it's like guys would meet me and they're like, oh, you're so cool. And I'm like, yeah, I know, but then didn't really go further. Here's what would usually happen. If I'd liked someone, they just weren't interested. And if there were guys that were interested, I just never was really interested in them. That's another topic to dive into as to what was happening with that. I do think I have some wisdom about that now. But the good news is now I've been a little less than a year, about 9 months, in a really awesome, wonderful relationship. But man, I just needed some help before that. And I realized there are so many areas I needed to just open up and, drumroll, be myself. Yeah, simple as that. I don't have to prove myself. I just have to be great. And this isn't like an arrogant, kind of entitled, this, this like prideful person of like, I know my worth and value. No, this was, listen, if you're a godly person, if you have pure heart, good intentions, you love life, you love who you are, what you do, you know God, then there's a guy out there for you. And it's all about the more you can be who you really are, the more you can attract a man who actually loves that, all of that, and appreciates and loves that. And when I started to really hone in that power, oh my gosh, it was like instant. I kid you not, instant. Met a guy. Loved me so fast, so quick. To me, like when he'd compliment these little things I do, I just was like, oh yeah, I always do that. Yeah. He's like, I just love that. So anyways, before I dig into too much about him, let's go back, ladies. If this sounds like something you would like, being yourself, your true self, having the boldness and courage to be who you are, who God designed you to be, and you want a man who can like be drawn to that and love you for that, then listen up. This is your episode. Let me continue to talk about, so I talked about like bad advice, what people were doing. Hey, you don't need to talk about or show off, or you're too intimidating. I mean, it was like, you need to show yourself more to, okay, chill out. Don't show too much. The advice was just so bad. So bad. I was so confused as to what I needed to do. Until finally I met someone who said, Yelena, right? I've talked about the coach/counselor that I worked with before. She said, look, the more you could be yourself in that feminine mode, be playful, be fun, relaxed, just be. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to prove anything. You don't have to be like, hey, look at me. Hey, look what I do here. Hey, oh yeah, I have a business. Actually, I have 2 businesses. I have 2 degrees. I mean, I wouldn't ever talk like that, but there were times where I'm like, I just don't know what I'm supposed to do. Do I just let people know who I am and this guy's gonna come? As you guys can see, lots of confusion, but I'm speaking like this because I've had so many conversations with girls, friends, clients, you name it, where they're like, what am I doing wrong? I have this to offer and that and this and this and that. I'm the whole package and bag of chips. So let me say this. When you know who you are in Christ, loved unconditionally, you are perfect in His sight, beloved daughter, you are beautiful inside and out, you're smart, you're intelligent, right? Beautiful, just fun, social, gentle, kind. Continue to be all these beautiful things, and you don't need to prove anything. And if there's something I have learned about healthy people, and especially guys, they can sense masculine energy. And let me say this, masculine guys don't want to be dating masculine girls, which means they sense that energy and they're gone. So let me give some more examples then of things I've seen. Girls that come onto dates almost being in interview mode. Yeah, that's a mood killer. The guys are not coming on these dates to be interviewed by you ladies. I know you're amazing and your resumes are long, but just be, okay? You're not hunting for a guy. You're presenting yourself. The man who's drawn to you will come to you, but then at the end, you get to choose. But you don't need to come in with a boss attitude as if you're selecting and interviewing an employee. Maybe in a work setting, there is some like appropriate level of that. But I think today I'm just going to focus more, instead of like entrepreneurship, I'm going to talk about my entrepreneur ladies who might have some difficulties in the love life department here. When you're going on your dates, you want to show up and be fun and relaxed and playful and enjoy your time and your moment. That is probably the most beautiful thing I think anyone can really see, right? If you're out on a beautiful date, you're having dinner, you're going outside, I don't know. When you are so present and enjoying your moment, that is the most beautiful thing someone can see. And by the way, I remember when I started to date my guy, it was really cool because like I really did enjoy our time and our dates. But then it was cool because the more he found out about me, because that's natural, the more it was like, oh wow, and you do this? That's really cool. And you have that? That wow. And this accomplishment. That was secondary. Who I am, my core, my essence as a woman, that was highlighted first. And there's a man that was so drawn to whatever presence I brought when I was in rest mode, relaxed, peace, at ease, able to receive the moment. And then everything else he found out, right? My accomplishments, degrees, right? The things I've done, that's that more masculine stuff when we're doing. That was extra. But that's not, I didn't have to come in and prove myself and show him my resume and how great I am and why I'm great here and there and that and this and that. I didn't overwhelm him with that list. That's not even fun. That's not attractive, right? Everything else right, as we continue to date and be in relationship, he gets to discover beautiful things about me and I discover wonderful things about him. But I just know my friends sometimes who have come into these like dates as interviews, that's not attractive. Ladies, I'm sorry. I'm saying it right away. That's not fun for you. Bringing that masculine energy. You're working on a date. Really? You want to relax and have fun on a date. I remember I had a friend one time. She was dating this guy who seemed really, really great, honestly. Like on paper, in real life, right? The ideal package type of guy. And it was interesting because even though my friend is really amazing, very talented, smart, she came in feeling like she has to keep on proving herself why she's amazing and a catch. Let me tell you, that type of work mode, that is stress and energy that burns girls out. No one wants to keep on feeling like they're not good enough and trying to do things and remind someone why they are. Remember, this is not a business transaction. This isn't like a probation period where you have to keep up your resume. And I keep on saying the word resume a lot because I really want to distinguish the fact that dates, being with guys, is different than when you are building your business team and hiring employees. Although some similarities, because there comes an effort where, yes, girls, you are looking for your team and your employees, but there's also a level where you got to sit back and give people opportunities to step forward and do their job. This ties into the other schemas I've talked about. There's everything I talk about. Love life, right? Dating, relationships, business, family. It's a dance between this masculine, feminine energy stuff. And ladies, God created you to be feminine. That's your natural rest mode. When we're working and that's necessary, there's a level of masculine energy that's necessary. But what's important is for society to find out this balance. And then for us. And you know what? I remember I was just like struggling, like, why am I single for such a long time? This is ridiculous. It's great. I've done a lot. I've utilized my time, that's for sure. But then when I met my guy, when I feel like I showed up in a much more healed version, healthier, more confident, really understanding feminine, masculine energy mode, oh my gosh, I attracted the most amazing man right away. I'm still this day, I'm still blown away by just my story. And honestly, I want to share this wisdom with people so that they can understand why understanding femininity and masculinity, right, the energy is important. So we can even break down Proverbs 31, right? That lady, she was beautiful, but I know that there's a massive, beautiful balance between her being in energy or in masculine energy and feminine energy. Let me go into that a little bit. Masculine energy, that is vision, mission, future focused, goal oriented, the protector, the provider, the doer, the worker, problem solver, challenger, go-getter, right? Goals, driven, out there, right? There's this forward Come on, let's go. Feminine energy. The biggest thing I'd have to say is being able to receive, right? Receive love, compliments. So there's the ability to receive, to be very present. I think of the word sensuality, right? Like that concept. I mean, it's beautiful. I'm not saying that's sexuality, but sensuality is you can feel all five senses. Oh, I can smell the roses, or I can feel the wind on my skin. Oh, look at that. I just saw that little bug. So cute. Again, girls, I'm saying this. Feminine energy is not stupid and it's not ditzy. And if anyone is feeling that, I'm just going to say how it is. That is a defense mechanism coming up, also known as woundedness. Femininity, being able to be present and enjoy and love and receive and be playful and nurturing and warm and kind and gentle. I think of like Holy Spirit. And these are girls, right, that you can still have very high degrees and high IQs and that's wonderful. That masculine energy is going to push you guys to go do it. But here's the thing. I've met so many, like if I could say boss girls, who have such high, strong, assertive, masculine energy. And they are just so perplexed why they only attract mama's boys or feminine boys. And it's like, well, ladies, you're carrying so much masculine energy. There's not room for more. And if we're talking about like a package, you only need a guy who pretty much has feminine energy, right? Codependency. If you're doing all the work, a normal person's going to say, no, I want to pull my load. Someone who's unhealthy will say, do it for me. That's very unattractive when that's a guy speaking like that, because that's out of God's order. Another thing I hear these strong girls complain about is, these guys, they don't do anything. They don't pursue. It's like, well, I don't know how much pursuing feminine men can do, honestly. But masculine men, believe me, they are not afraid to hunt. They love that. And, right, they want to go get out there, be challenged, get that prize. But if you're coming in with just a strong masculine energy, honestly, that is like, it stinks. It's not smell good. Again, it pushes masculine men away. And if I am talking to someone who's feeling like, I mean, if you're really able to get honest with yourself and you say, maybe I feel too vulnerable or too scared to open up and relaxed, or this feels stupid, or why, like any kind of defensiveness, ladies, that might be coming up from you, then we got some woundedness. Okay. Where does that come from? What are the men and females like in your family or culture? Yeah, so I mean, I've talked to so many girls who are single. And again, a lot of these girls are amazing girls. And that's why I think this is kind of my part in this world, is to help these beautiful, amazing, smart, intelligent girls have amazing, beautiful love lives and business lives. But if you want to balance both, ladies, listen up. You're going to have to figure out how to balance masculine and feminine energy. Even at work, let me break it down how it happens with me. There is a level of doing and pursue I have to do to build a business, right? If I'm building, that's already masculine. But there comes a point where I need to be able to sit back and rest and receive help. Okay, because what's the point of me hiring a team if I'm doing everything for them? And I want to hire people who can actually do their part. So I got to move myself away and let them step up to the game. So for instance, by the time I have to show up on my podcasts, or let's say my videos, or whatever course I'm doing, there's a lot of back energy that is, back help that's happening. And then I have to just be able to show up. But then when I'm in teaching mode, speaking, yes, that's masculine mode. But if I'm trying to attract clients, guess what the next pattern is? I present my information, put it on the table, share my value, and I sit back. And who wants to, like, if this resonates with them with whatever I'm teaching, proposing, they will take, receive, and then they will pursue, which means I pull back And the clients who are ready to do the work, they'll email me, they'll contact me, they'll sign contracts immediately. And guess what? It's those people that do well, that get results. So I'm not chasing anyone. I'm not begging anyone. But I'm also not sitting back being helpless and expecting everyone to somehow build my business. There's lots of examples of how I have to balance feminine, masculine energy. Obviously, more on that later. But let me go back. When I'm having, let's say, when I'm in work mode, that's wonderful, masculine energy. But if I'm in work mode 24/7 for a female, that is recipe for burnout, disaster. You will be depleted, and then feelings like anger and resentment, I'm tired, that's going to come in. And then we just feel and kind of look nasty. But when I recognize, hey, I've pumped out my work mode, wonderful, I need to be recharged, I want to go back in feminine. First of all, let me say this, I feel safe enough in the presence of my masculine man to be safe and vulnerable. That's where I recharge. I can sit back, I can have fun, I can be playful. Like maybe we're just watching a movie, maybe we go out and do something. He's leading, he's ordering something. I let him be the man. And I love it because I get to be taken care of now and loved on, and I just have to continue to receive. And anytime something comes up in me that's like, oh, I don't know, maybe I should do this, I ask myself, stop. Is that one of my maladaptive schemas maybe coming up that I'm reprogramming for it to not control me? Oh, I think so. Maybe that's an insecurity, a worth issue. But my Jesus says I am beautiful. I don't have to prove my worth to anybody. I just need to be able to receive love. A lot of my girls give love, give service, and then they want to feel it, but they don't open up room in their life, in their heart to receive love. So I'm going to challenge my girls. Next time you're with guys, you don't even have to sign up on a date right away, but just watch your energy when you're with men, especially men who are masculine. When you just sit back, chill out, you don't have to do all the work. You don't have to strike up every conversation. You don't have to go into conversation interview mode. Just be present. Receive a compliment. Smile. Be flirty. Have fun. And watch who starts to be attracted towards you. You will see kind of like a magnetic power start to happen. And then anytime you're like, oh my gosh, he's going to walk away, so I got to start doing X, Y, and Z and ask him. Nope, stop that right now. You don't gotta have to do anything. I'm not saying be some snob and look the other way and be rude. No, that's closed off. Feminine is receiving. Have a conversation with a man. When was the last time you had a normal, good conversation where there's no agenda? You're not interviewing, you're not proving him or yourself, none of that. So present. The only goal is to be present. And then you'll notice like, oh, I feel so nice. I feel safe. Wow, the way he's looking at me. Wow, I'm like really smiling right now. Just relax in that. Ladies, that is so beautiful. I already know you guys are hard workers. But please, if you want to attract a masculine man, you gotta retreat back into your feminine energy and let this masculine man do his thing that God has designed him to do. You just be beautiful. I keep on saying this, be present, relaxed, fun, be a woman. In a world that's really fighting that, I can see that. I could see why we have so much dissatisfaction. Role reversal. People are just so confused. It makes me so sad. But most girls I talk to anyways, and I talk to a lot of smart girls, most of them can say, look, I want to do my thing in the world and leave an imprint and have my awesome business, but I want to come home and be loved. Then let yourself be loved. Let yourself receive love. You don't have to prove or be anything. Okay? Here, let me go a little deeper. Let's say there is a specific type of man you love, or type of man you like. Maybe he's educated or smart or whatever. Look, if you identify some guy in a room, you don't have to be like, hey, he looks like this. He probably likes girls like that. So I'm going to act like this. And the crazy thing is we do it on a subconscious level half the time. Our brain computes so much info that by the time we show up and say hi, we're already acting a certain way. And there's that word, acting, performing, working, striving. That here's the thing. This is not only just masculine mode, but I'd say also it's not healthy because you're trying to kind of manipulate and not be your real authentic self. And so we start being a certain way. And fine, let's say you catch that guy. Oh, he's interested. You look cute, Well, then you're going to feel a massive amount of pressure to feel like you have to continue to perform to get his approval and love. And again, that's exhausting. That's not authentic. And it's only a matter of time before you guys either break up or there's some kind of resentment anchored that's going to start to really come up. Versus you having faith and belief that the way God designed you to be, be like that. And believe that there's going to be some guy that's going to be like, wow, who is that? And he's going to want to know you and everything about you and all your quirks and flaws and those little weird things that you do. He's going to think it's so beautiful and adorable. And you don't have to fake anything because that's who you are. Look at that level of rest. Right? It takes so much faith to really believe God has someone for you. But here's the thing. You got to be yourself. No agendas. You might have agenda for the day at work, but your only quote unquote agenda for the date that you have with whatever guy, is to just be present and have fun. And if you have fun, do it again. And then, right, as you get to know a person, then you guys can see, do our values align, stuff like that. I've just seen so many girls go on these dates. Oh my goodness, I keep on saying it. It's so disastrous. Yeah, I went on this date and, I asked him all these questions and he kind of failed half of them and I wasn't impressed. And they dismissed the fact that this guy could also potentially be someone who makes them feel like a queen. Okay? And by the way, ladies, right, I work with girls mid-20s to mid-30s. Sometimes I'm talking to girls who want a 25-year-old guy to be, the way they describe him, he's literally like a 45-year-old man in terms of career, life, purpose, everything set up. So again, please stop it with your unrealistic expectations, which sounds like last week's topic, unrelenting standards. Before you can judge and ask a man what he has in order, ask yourself, what do you have in order? Sounds harsh, but let's be realistic and recognize maybe he's some man who's making you feel like a queen. If he's a pretty good man, maybe there's like a unique, incredible touch of you that he needs in his life, right? You're the helper. That's going to help him become and develop into the real man that he's intended to become in life. But that's a partnership thing you guys have to do. Oh, girls. I am going to continue to dive into the topic of femininity, right? Feminine, masculine energy. It is my heart's mission to see these amazing girls who've done so many beautiful things with their life to experience real love, real acceptance. Next week's topic, so this upcoming, right, Monday to Sunday, my topic will be on Instagram, and the podcast the following week will be on, is it love or is it manipulation? I have a lot to say about that, and okay, here's a little spoiler alert. It has to do a lot with The less you are authentic and real, the more you're trying to control, right, someone's perception of you, or control how they are or what they pick. And that by default is not love, right? Control manipulation is witchcraft. And the other thing I forgot I was going to say earlier, I remember I said I was just so upset, like, wow, why am I single for such a long time? What's going on? Honestly, thank God. I would have attracted someone not for me. And how do I know that? Because I didn't obviously know how to be myself, right? Still had some little shyness or insecurities. But the more I started to embrace who I am, and I was able to just show up. First of all, let me say this. I did not even take that date seriously. I didn't really expect too much. I saw that this guy was cute. Boom. Cool. Let's go on a date. And I honestly did not expect anything. So it was so beautiful because I was able to just show up and have fun and look beautiful and feel amazing. And apparently, I guess I captivated this guy with my powers. Anyways, and I'm so glad that this is the man that loves me now, right? 9 months later. I'm so glad God loves me so much. He didn't let me unite with anyone, because I would have been mismatched if I had to pretend or downplay my strengths or gifts or callings or anything like that. And I was able to, right, not have to be a fake fraud version of myself. Like I don't even want to imagine how disastrous that would have been in the long run, because had I followed people's advice and just took whoever, let me tell you, I believe I have a high call in my life, just like I believe that for anybody. And I believe that there's no way I could have completed that if I picked someone who doesn't really know me, who I didn't feel like I could show my fullest self, or if I had to be a certain way because, culture, religion, family, church, all that. And thank God, I'm telling you girls, here's another thing. I was like, look, I'm just going to be myself and do whatever. I attracted this man, loved me, and, I didn't even take him serious. I just didn't think anything would happen. Like, even his package looked like the package of who he is looked a little bit different than what I thought. But wow, the way he'd make me feel, I could not dispute that. He made me feel so amazing. I was so loved. Till this day, he still treats me like a queen. And some people, like, look, I get it, I'm not yet married, but some people are like, you just wait till later in marriage and all that fades. Honestly, I've also met people that still seem to be in honeymoon phase and real love decades later in their marriage. And so why do they have it? I think it's because they were probably a pretty healthy, healed version of their true, authentic self, who attracted a partner who was also healthy. And when you really meet your match, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, physically, all of that I think God designed, that to me is what I call a kingdom marriage. Kingdom marriage is not, I have this massive task that I have to do in this world, and I have to have a man who does this with me, and we do. No, stop that. Stop. Most of the characters in the Bible never even knew what their even assignments were in life until the end of their life, and they looked back, and then they were like, oh. Right, Ruth, how was she supposed to know what was going on in her life? I'm sure she had a lot of questions, and there's a lot of stuff that just didn't really align with like who she was with. But then look, in her lineage, Jesus was later born. So no agendas, you just gotta be and believe that Jesus gives you wisdom to make decisions. And one of the ways we as females are designed is to weigh things based off of how we feel and intuition. And so when I am shown love and respect and honor, someone who adores me and thinks I'm just so beautiful and a queen, and you know what, that's hard not to love someone like that back and develop a lot of respect for someone who loves you. But if we reverse it, and if I came to these dates trying to prove myself and my worth, and this is why I'm good and you should be with me, There's no way that you can attract someone healthy, yet alone masculine. And sure, you can get married. That's fine. That's fine. I don't think like quote unquote getting married is the hard part. I don't. I think there's a lot of loveless marriages, and that's not what I ever wanted. I always prayed that God gives me a man who just loves me inside and out. And together we're a power team. And praise the Lord, I had to wait until I could get myself together and figure myself out, have some confidence to show up and shine. And I wish that for everybody. I really do. You girls are way too amazing not to experience some of these beautiful things in life, such as love. Like an intimate level of love that you could only really have with a person who's going to be possibly your spouse. So let's kind of close this up. Although I love your guys' comments and support, questions, DMs. Feel free to always ask me and give me more things I can talk about. But approval seeking, recognition seeking schema. There's nothing wrong with us having sensitivity to be like, hey, in this job setting, like we dress like this or we act like this. But what's a problem is if you're morphing yourself into some kind of environment and relationships that's not you at all. I remember I heard this pastor saying like, there's a certain way that he speaks and, he's like from the streets originally. He was saved later. And when God's like, hey, I'm going to use your voice, your mouth, and you're going to be a powerful person that speaks truth to the world. He's like, no, not me. I don't speak Christianese. I'm not calm. I'm super charismatic. I'm loud. I joke. I'm this and that. And God's like, yeah, that's exactly why I'm calling you. I don't need another person who feels like, oh, a pastor only talks like this. No, I need a real human being who can then speak out of the heart, be themselves, show people how God's encounter you while you still having your own unique personality, vocab, verbiage, right? Your colors. And you will then attract other people who say, that's a real man impacted by God, not some kind of robotic version who is, again, speaking Christianese and acting a certain way and being, conforming. And so I think it's important for us to know like, hey, I don't feel like I have freedom in here. I feel really controlled. I feel suffocated. I feel scared. I don't feel, again, free to be myself. That's probably a good indicator of, nope, that job setting is not for you or that relationship's not for you. But that's different between, right, just sometimes having respect for different cultures and settings and being respectful. So again, there's nothing wrong with us growing and becoming who we need to be. In fact, I think in this world, we'd have to have courage to be who we are. But again, I'm not talking about celebrating dysfunction, because in my counseling background, there's plenty of things people have talked about where they're like, well, I'm just going to be who I am. And I'm thinking, that's not who you are. Those are just like symptoms of your woundedness and pain. So, the more I think we are in life, like restored to the original design that God has for us, blueprints, what it means to be male and female, building families and businesses. I honestly think that is the kingdom that's being restored. And I will say that one more thing. God said, let's make man in our image. And so then when he made man, the way I see it is God split almost himself into male and female. The fullness, the wholeness, when healthy man, male and female come together, that's when there's like, right, the full side of the spectrum. That's like the power team. That's like God power. But when we're separate, we got to kind of balance back and forth. Here's work mode, here's doing mode, here's resting and receiving and nurturing and loving. That interplay, that dance is important. So anyways, ladies, listen up. My goal is to continue to go deeper about this topic, talking about masculine and feminine energy and love life, business, family, friends, all of that. And I just really want you guys to have, say it again and again, love. Because who cares if you have these amazing businesses, but you feel so lonely? And I am not dissing on anyone who's single. That is not my heart. No. And I am not saying like being single is some kind of like shame or curse. No. Okay. I had to work through a lot of that garbage that was hung on me from, unfortunately, our community. But I'm saying, look, if you want to build your business and you want to have an amazing masculine man to go home to, then listen up. There are some formulas that actually, once you understand them, these principles, they make sense and they will allow for your blessings. So again, not dissing, just encouraging, because the love that I'm experiencing, I really do want everyone to experience that. So let me make one announcement. There are 3 schemas I've been talking about the last couple weeks. Unrelenting standards schema. This one, the approval seeking, recognition seeking schema. And then the other one was the self-sacrifice schema. I am going to be hosting an educational course June 29th. That's a Wednesday, 6 p.m. Pacific time. And for about an hour, I will be breaking down the top 3 reasons as to why literally every single entrepreneur I have ever worked with has this as some kind of like, I don't know, you can say dysfunctional barriers, reasons that get in the way of you guys launching out and being who you need to be, and then therefore doing what you need to do in this world. So if you want to know more, I've sprinkled lots of data, but I'm going to kind of really teach and go deep in the educational course I'm going to provide later this month. What to do, what the signs are, how it shows up, solutions. I will pack as much as I can in an hour. It will be $25 to sign up, and we will send you the Zoom link for that. And after, I believe we will be sending out a recording for our the people that attend. So don't forget, sign up for that. If you ever have questions, connect at YelenaTalks.com, or you can always DM me on Instagram. Ladies, I am so excited for what God has for you. I am. If you could see me right now, just sitting here cheesing, smiling, because I really do believe you guys think you want these blessed marriages and families and businesses. Let me tell you, Father God, the King of Kings, wants it, needs it even more. And he plans, the Bible promises a kingdom being established on this earth. And guess what? Ready? You are the queens that God wants to establish. And the more you understand your role, these mannerisms, it's almost like Esther had to go through learning all these skills. She wasn't just taking baths and anointed oil, although we can do spa days, that's fine. The more we understand of what it means to walk and talk and be like a queen, where we can go to places and we don't have to say we're queen. People just know there's something different about that person. I think I was in the presence of a queen. That is my goal. That is what I'm talking about. And when you are a true queen, you will attract your king. Thank you so much for sitting and listening to this now 5th podcast. I'm so excited to do so many more. But remember, you are a queen. You are a treasure. You are a gem. You are beautiful, made inside and out by God. Have a beautiful, beautiful day, and I hope to hear more from you. Thank you.